Welcome to Breakfast with Amy. I am Amy at Wise Monkey Quilting in Denison, Iowa. And this morning we're going to make a table runner that is called Flowers for Mom from Villa Rosa. Super fun table runner to do with some new fabric that we just got in. And then after I show you how to make the table runner, I'm going to show you how to use the quilting sheets from Urban Elements and how easy it is to put that on, whether it be a table runner or any quilt, and quilt it with your domestic quilting machine. So, is there anyone joining us this morning?
Well, so far we have Triss and Roxy, Sandra, Carol, Katie, Sharon, April. We got two Sharons. Good morning.
Good morning.
Hi, Chris, Donna, Brenda, and Susan, along with Martha so far.
We might look a little bit different. Hi Pam. We kind of changed it up this morning. I am actually sewing on a horn sewing table. The reason is because it's a really cool table and it's nice to sew on it. But because I'm going to be doing quilting on my machine, I wanted to have a nice flat surface. There's so many reasons that you can use a nice flat surface, making bowls, doing the quilting. So I wanted that, so we pulled this in. And then we're doing something a little different this morning. I'm actually, when it comes time to put on the papers for the quilting, we're going to be moving right beside, and I'm going to show you there how to put the papers on. So hopefully this all works this morning for you guys, but I think it's going to be a fun experience.
And we have our second Pam is also watching.
Good morning.
Along with Stacy and Margot, Lisa, Cheryl, Barbara, Marge, Lori, Connie, Mary, Sharon, Jill, Jan, and Cindy, and Beth Ann so far.
Just took a few minutes for everyone to get the notification and join us.
Beth Ann says, but all her flat surfaces get full of stuff. Well, that's why you need that second table behind you or somewhere else.
I have that same problem, yes.
And Kelly is also joining us, along with Sherry and Linda, Steve, our official
Good morning.
greeter. Julie over in Fremont. Does the table adjust for this one? Does not, but we do have one that does adjust. This one does not adjust for height.
We have 3 horn sewing tables on the floor for display. We have the one up front which you can adjust for height. So when you can stand up, move the whole table up and use it as a cutting table. This one does have just a button to push, hydraulic, which will lower your machine. And then there is an insert, so you can use it as a cutting table, but setting down. There is a leaf here in the front that can get folded down if you need extra space. But if you fold it up, that's why you have a nice big surface once you put your machine down as a cutting table. Another cool thing about this one is you can pull the drawer out and there is this little insert here. So I can hook this here. And now I have an L shape. So if I wanted to, I can move my cutting mat over here to this side. So that is super cool. That is a really good little add-on bonus on this table.
So we're not going to get too much into the tables today, but if you do have questions on them, sew steady tables, anything like that, give me a call. I'm always in the deal making mood, so give me a call today and I would love to explain things to you. Tables come in different color options. And there's other tables that we don't have on the floor that are available to us. So,
Basically, if you go on the horn what's the website? It's Horn Sewing Tables. Horn.
Yes.
We can get you anything you want from there, and we can usually beat the price, at least match, if not beat, right? You're looking at.
Yeah, I don't know if they're going to give you a price. So.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
And then it ships straight to your house, completely put together. The only thing that you have to add to it is to screw on the rollers that go on the bottom. So how cool is that? Completely put together for you.
Hi, Karen, Susan, Pam, Deborah, Elaine is checking in. Elaine says she loves her horn table. Hi, Peg. Susan. Susan says she has a package coming today.
Yay!
Hi, Lois, and Janet is back in Denison here. She's home from Texas, so.
Excellent.
And Carol is checking in also this morning.
Also, I just wanted to point out.
Just me.
What?
Just me.
Just me?
Carol?
Oh, just me. American made in Virginia, West Virginia.
Yes.
So American made table, right here, well, there in West Virginia, and shipped to you. Okay. So this is, let me go through what we have this morning. So this is the pattern that we're making from Villa Rosa called Flowers for Mom.
Can you hold it down just a little bit? There you go.
And it makes a table runner that's 16 inches by 50 inches. So great time to, spring is in the air. I know we're supposed to get thunderstorms this afternoon. What says spring for a spring thunderstorm? And April probably can tell us how many days till spring. So $2, Flowers for Mom, Villa Rosa pattern, sold 100. Then I have the fabric bundle that you can use. Here was the table runner again, so it does.
Okay, we didn't have a bubble for a minute, so let's just go back to the.
Sold 100.
Yep, for the.
Flowers for Mom, Villa Rosa pattern is $2. Makes a 16-inch by 50-inch table runner.
Okay.
And then you're making 5 flowers. We just got a new line of fabric in, which I used for the flowers. So very pretty and very easy to do. And I'm going to show you how. So we have the fabric bundle for this. So you're going to get your 5 fabrics for your flowers. Some purples. I love these purples and kind of a pinkish purple. You're going to get your green for your stems and your leaves. You're going to get your background fabric, and then you're going to get binding fabric. So you're going to get everything you need for your table runner, and then you'll just put whatever you want on the back. So you get all of this fabric for $27.99, and that sold 101. And Randy made a new ruler for this morning that I'm going to be using. So it's the perfect size for this table runner. Can be will be personalized with your name, whatever name is on your account, unless you specify different. So if you want it as a gift for somebody, make sure in your comments when you go to checkout, you write, whatever name you want on there.
Or if you don't want a name, please write no name.
And I also put it, you can get it right-handed or you can get it left-handed. So it's $15.99. It's a 5.5 by 8.5 inch ruler. It's got all of your markings for your 1/8, quarter. It's got all your markings. And it's going to have your name on it and a hole if you want to hang it on your wall.
And this is brand new to us. We have never offered this before.
So brand new size.
Yes.
So $15.99, sold 102 right or sold 102 left. This one you're going to have to specify right or left. And then we'll make it for you and put your name on it. And then last this morning, and we did sell these Tuesday night. This is what I'm going to be showing this morning, how to do this. Super easy way to quilt your own Maybe you have a baby quilt, maybe you have a table runner, maybe you have a regular quilt. And the pricing of, I completely understand, even though we do quilting here on the long arm, when you just have a small project, sometimes it's just nice to be able to sit down and quilt it on your own. I'm going to show you how to do that this morning. So it's called Scribbles from Quilting Elements, and the reason that I have chosen this, we're going to have other designs, but the reason I'm doing this one is it's a very good one to start off with. If you are new to quilting on your machine, the nice scribbles is what they call it. They're just round, is a great one to start off with. You don't have any corners, you don't have any small loops. So this is a great one to start with. This package will do a 35 by 45 quilting area, and it runs $14.50, which, if you think about it, is way less than taking it to your quilter and having a small project done. So $14.50 sold $103, and we will be having other designs as well, so you will always be able to come back and get this or other designs to add to it.
Let's see here. Good morning, Helen. Let's see, Barbara from sunny Florida.
Ooh, sunny Florida.
Colleen's checking in. Make sure, did I say hi to Ilma yet?
Nope.
Okay, and Sandra says Amy and I are twinning again today.
Excellent.
Let's see, I think April says 7 days till spring.
All right, 7 days.
And only a couple of days till St. Patty's Day. I believe it's Monday.
Spring is in the air.
Yes. Hi, Crystal. And if I have missed anybody, I certainly apologize, but I don't think I have. But I'm going to let Maggie is also checking in. So.
Good morning. All right, so I'm going to show you how to make a flower and a stem, because you're just going to make 5 of them. They're all the same.
Okay. Barbara does, before you get going, buying one of the rulers as a gift. Where can I tell you the names for the rulers?
When you go to check out, there's a little space that says, I think it says comments.
Mm-hmm.
Just type in there and we'll see that.
And then I believe at the end, when you get done typing, you have to push enter, or there's a prompt right there.
Yep.
Yep.
Yep. And then if you don't know for sure if that was on there, just call us or email me and I will make sure Randy gets that.
And good morning, Deanna.
Good morning. All right, so to make our flower for our table runner, you're going to need small squares for your background, some larger squares for your background, and then your 5 colors for your flowers, and your green for your leaves and stem. So to cut our, look in here, I have a drawer. I'm going to take out my rotary cutter and my little folded corner clipper that we're going to be using today. And you're going to use 2 leaves for each flower. So I am going to cut those. And like I said, this ruler Randy designed because it works perfect for this table runner, but it will work perfect for a lot of other projects that you're working on. So I am going to cut my 2 leaves. Oop, and then I should cut my stem as well. So I'll just give that. So I just need 1 stem for 1 flower and my 2 leaves. And then, let's see, what color flower? Let's just make this one. So I'm going to also need 2 pieces, and I might have to do my flower different because I'm not sure I have enough of 1 color in my little stash here after making one, so we're just going to do it in 2 colors. So So let's make a 2-color flower, shall we, for our little show today?
Under Brenda and Stacy are helping us out here. It would be under notes.
Notes.
Yep. So Stacy said order notes. So yes, you can go ahead and put anything in there, or if you have any special request, shipping request or anything, you can put it in there also.
Yeah.
And Barbara's checking in from Vero Beach.
All right, the flower is super simple. You're just starting with your 2 pieces. Now, obviously, these would be the same, and you'd have plenty of fabric that they're going to be the same, but I'm doing different this morning. And then we're just going to add on our little squares. I'm going to put one in the top corner, and then we're going to put one in the opposite corner down here. Now, the thing to remember when you're doing your flowers is they are mirror images of each other. So if I'm putting my square in my top right corner when I'm looking at it here, I'm going to take my other square and it's going to be in my top left. So I'm going to have squares that are opposite from each other and then mirror image from the other one. So I want these 2 and these 2. So to do that, I'm going to leave this one straight up so I can use my folded corner clipper, and this one I'm going to turn at an angle.
Good morning, Roxanne.
Lay my folded corner clipper on there so it covers right along the edge of my little background square. Cut that corner off. And then while I'm here, I'm just going to do my other one at the same time. Now I'm going to take it to my machine and I'm going to sew my regular 1/4-inch seam, which happens to be from corner to corner on both. And I like this. Now I can just slide it instead of picking it up and moving it.
Many advantages to having a sewing table. So
there is. I can just slide it on in.
we'll remind everybody today, $5 flat rate shipping unless you purchase $25 or more. So that's a great deal.
Now I want to do it the opposite corner, so I'm just going to put this one back up and this one sideways again. Make sure my square is right side. And right side.
All right, Janice, Karen's also checking in.
I'm going to do the same thing and just cut off that corner. You can find this folded corner clipper in our comment sold store because I do use it almost every day. And I will sew these.
All right, Catherine. So if you are interested in one of the horn tables or maybe a So Steady table that
We do the same thing, it's just going to sit up on your table.
Right, so it's not going to be you're not going to have the storage and things, but you can just use it right on top of whatever table you're sewing on currently.
Yep, and I am just pressing these open.
Victor says the best tool ever. And
It's the folded corner clipper,
and
yes.
Deborah says, love my folded corner clipper.
It is definitely a game changer. Okay. And we're going to sew these two together, and that's my flower. So there's my flower. Now these are going to be the same, obviously, unless you want them different. Totally up to you, but there's my flower. So I'm just going to sew these together down that way. Now to get that good point, I might turn my seam up so I nest when I get down to my background fabric. And then I'll just correct that with my iron. I'll show you here in a second. So as I'm sewing, when I get to my background, I just turned up my seam that I pressed so I could get that to nest. Now when I go to press that, I'm just going to press that the other way. And that way my seam nested and it looks good when I put my backgrounds together.
April says, do you carry something that holds our ruler, since now they'll all probably have more than a...
She has a lot of rulers.
Yes. So.
We do have a few things, a couple things. Can't think of the name of it. It's the green that sits on your table and it has the slots. All right. So there's all you have to do for your flower. So now for your leaves, and this is cool. If you want to see how a folded corner clipper can work for the full folded corner clipper, this is perfect. You use your big square of background on your leaves, and I'm going to put that right at the top. It's the same width. I have a hard time seeing. I should bring my little black light back here so I know which is the right side. It's going to do the same thing. You're going to do opposite. So when you're looking at your leaves and stems, you need to do them opposite, just like that. So I am going to use my folded corner clipper the same way. One I'm going to turn this way, and one I'm going to do straight up. And if you notice, when I put my folded corner clipper on it, it is the exact same size as my background square. So now I just line up my total length of my folded corner clipper across the whole bottom, and then it comes up the other side. And then I'm going to cut off that whole edge. Now this is a great one to take to your machine and then sew that 1/4 inch seam, so you have a half square triangle you can use for another project. Because this is nice and big and you don't want to waste that fabric. So a great time just to sew that together. I'm going to do the same thing with this one. Lay my whole folded corner clipper down. I'm going to cut off that whole corner. And now I am just going to sew my normal 1/4 inch seam, which happens to be from corner to corner.
Good morning, Cindy. April says maybe that would be a Treat Yourself Tuesday idea.
That is a great Treat Yourself Tuesday idea.
Cindy says that she uses a bin for all the rulers.
Okay. We'll do the other one.
What's nice about these tables, they come fully assembled, other than you have to screw the wheels, put the wheels in. So very easy, and that does come delivered to your door. For a little bit extra fee, we can have them bring it into your house for you.
Ooh, that would be
So
lovely.
that is also another option now.
All right, so there we have half. So now I want to do the opposite. So this one I'm going to lay across, and this one I'm going to lay up, and we're going to do the exact same thing that we first did. I'm going to lay my square on, lining up my edges, and my other one.
Pam uses some finished nails on
and hangs them along the wall.
Yep, and on a door. And then Colleen says she used command hooks. So.
Oh, sure. And all of the rulers that you make have the holes in them, so you can hang them. And I'm just cutting off those corners, and then I would sew my 1/4 inch seam and have another set of 1/2 square triangles, and I'm going to sew these together.
Deb is checking in. Typically, she's from Papillion, Nebraska, but she is actually in Cortona, Italy this morning. So it would be, I'm sure it is afternoon for her. So
hello, Deb from Italy. I hope the weather is beautiful over there for you.
She says ciao.
Ciao.
I think that's how that is in French anyway. Or
Italian.
Not Italian, yes.
And I hope you're having lots of pasta and good food. Why do I always think about food? I do. I always think about food.
Kathy, if you are interested in one of the tables, give me a call because we can, there could be some specials that are in the air. So if you're interested, she says she's getting motivated to junk her basement. So there's space for one of these tables.
Excellent. All right, so we have put the background square on both sides. Now we're just going to put that other little piece we cut right in the middle. And there is our stem. So I'm going to sew this together. This is just a really fun table runner to put together.
Connie is checking in from Georgia this morning.
Good morning.
And I will pass along, was it Monday morning or Tuesday evening, one of the two, that we can add, I believe, another country to our list of, we had somebody watching from New Zealand. So
yes,
we certainly welcome one and all to take part. And
so much fun.
Yes. Margot says happy Pi Day to everyone. Yes.
Happy Pi Day.
Hi, Louine.
Not the math pie, though it is the math pie, but I might have to do some other.
Cindy loves her horn table, she says. Deb says it's been cold here, lots of wine, no quilt shop though.
Oh,
okay.
Well.
Louine says she loves the purple grunge.
Oh, I know. It's beautiful. All right. So I just pressed my seams towards the stem, so towards the middle. And there is the base of our flower. And I am just going to then sew. And you want to make sure that your leaves are going up and your flower on top. And I'm going to sew that together and show you what a whole flower looks like. And you're just going to make 5 of these.
And Colleen loves her table also. We love all these people that have some of our products that let others know that they really enjoy them. So thank you to all of you guys that have are helping us out here.
Why not have a nice place to sew when this is what you do a lot of your time?
Connie, we have a ruler that we are selling this morning. It is a 5.5
By 8.5.
yes, so
You can do it right-handed or left-handed.
right, and we will come back to that at the end of the show, and Amy will show that to you again. So
Here's the flower. Now when I did my table runner, my flowers were the same color. I just did it with the fabric I had this morning. So that's all you have to do for the flower. You make 5 of them and you sew them together for your table runner.
good morning, Janice, and Marilyn's checking in. Janice checking in from Denver this morning. Marilyn out in Oregon. Hi, Colette. And yes, Mary, the insert for these tables are sized for your machine. So you tell us what machine you're going to use in there. If you're using multiple machines, sometimes maybe, we can get different ones.
Inserts.
Yes.
Yes, so they'll make you this plexiglass insert to match your machine in the table. So it fits in there perfect.
And
then you can put your machine down in.
just
There is a insert that fits in there. And then you can use it as a cutting table, or you can put things away when you're not sewing.
there is an electric motor that lowers the motor machine down.
Yes.
Maybe if you just push it just a little bit so they see that how easy that is. So
it just does it automatic, and I bring it up so this is flush. Okay, so now comes our fun part. You're gonna see the camera move because I'm going to come over here to my table. And I'm going to show you how to put the sheets on here so you can quilt this yourself. So what I have done is I have taken my backing fabric, and whether you use any type of a batting is fine. I did a fusible batting and I fused it to my backing. And then I am laying my table runner on there. Because I had to piece my backing, it gives me an idea of where my center of my table runner is. So I have it. I have about 3 inches bigger backing than my table runner on all 4 sides. And what I'm going to do is just pull this back. I like to use the 505 temporary adhesive. And I am just going to spray the back of my table runner. And then I'm going to fold it over. And then I'm going to do the same thing to the other half. Fold that back over.
yes, Sharon, they do make the inserts and table that would work for the Husqvarna Viking Epic 3. Yes, that is not a problem at all.
Nope, any type of machine that you have, any brand. All right.
And Deanna, this table does not move up and down, but we do have one that does. So.
Yes. All right, so we have our backing, we have our batting, and we have our table runner. So here are the sheets. So this right here, the quilting designs for your domestic machine, they're tearaway quilting elements, and they're like tissue paper sheets. And what I'm gonna give you a little insight on long arming. When we do a quilt on the long arm, the design goes a little bit off your design or your quilt or your table runner. And then when you trim, after you're all done and you trim your edges of your quilt or your table runner, you're not going to notice any blank spaces because it's just run off and on, and you're going to do the same thing with this. So what I do on the first one, I'm going to go where it starts. Can you see that? So you'll see the printing. I'm going to have it where it starts a little bit off of my table runner. So about 1/2 inch. And then I'm going to have where this top dark line is about 1/2 inch extended up from the top of my table runner. And then we're just going to use the same 505 basting spray, and we're going to secure that down. So I'm just going to set this aside for a second. I'm going to flip this upside down. And I am just using, and I'm going to just do a very light coat of the temporary adhesive. I'm going to flip this around and then have it so I'm about 1/2 inch over the edge, and I'm just going to press that down just like that. Now I can take my second sheet, and if you notice, there are also these dotted lines. So what those are for is when I put my second sheet on, those dotted lines match up perfectly with the design down here underneath. So those are going to overlap. So when you're done, you won't see any space. It'll look like continuous quilting all the way around. So I'm going to do the same thing with this piece. I'm just going to turn it right over, and I'm just going to lightly spray some of this basting spray.
And Lori's wondering, could you use a glue stick?
You could, yeah, that's fine.
And 505 does have a temporary glue stick, so.
And I am just going to line up those lines with that previous lines on here.
But you just want to make sure it is a temporary glue stick.
Yes, you want a temporary glue stick because this is a temporary adhesive. And then you just put that down. Now you have all of your lines. Now, if you see, I have a little bit extra table runner. So it doesn't matter how long it is. I am just going to bring in, you get 4 sheets of this. So if this is all the wide, you would just keep going all the way down. And the same thing, I match up my lines with the lines on the pattern underneath. And all I need is what's on the extra. So I am just going to fold this back because I don't need to have any extra. So I am just going to cut it off right there on that fold.
Let's see here. The table is, and different tables are different lengths, Beverly. This table, when it is all the way out, the width of the table is 74 5/8 inches, and the depth is 56 inches. But that is with all of the leaves up. When it is closed, it is 60 inches by 27 inches.
All right, so I'm going to put a little bit of basting spray on this paper.
And if you have any questions on any of the horn tables or anything that we have in store, if that might be a sewing machine or anything like that, please contact us here at the store. We'd love to talk to you about it.
Absolutely. All right, so I am just lining this up. This is why it's temporary. You can keep moving it till you get it exactly where it needs to be. And that's how you're extending your design down. Now I can do the same thing, I just have to find it. I probably need my other paper.
And just so everyone knows, we do have tables that move up and down, and this is another one that does not move. But the table that moves up and down and this table are both set up for any of the larger top-of-the-line machines that whatever brand you may have, it will fit any of those, and the insert can be cut to fit your machine.
So I'm just doing another piece. I'm going to cut it off at the fold.
Deanna's, how long are the sheets? I think, yeah.
They are 45 inches long. So my table runner was 50, so I'm about 5 inches short. And I'm going to do this piece the same way. So if you notice, I gotta think about this for a second, how it goes in there. So this one goes just like that. I'm gonna spray. And we're gonna put this on just like this.
This horn table that we're using this morning comes in both white or the gray like we show here. Some of the other tables do come in wood grained, so different looks are available depending on what machine you're looking at.
All right, so now we are ready to take this to our sewing machine and quilt it, and I'm going to show you how to do that. So I am going to roll this, and we're going to take it to our machine. Now, I think all of your machines probably have different feet when you're doing free motion quilting. So I am going to change my foot to this little free motion foot, and I'm going to take off my IDT, put on my little free motion foot, there we go. Now my machine, I can push a button and say I want to do free motion, and then I tell it which foot I have, and it dropped my feed dogs. Your machine may have a little lever in the back or somewhere where you drop your feed dogs. So you're going to want to drop your feed dogs, put on whatever foot that your machine recommends to do quilting. And then I like to start, what we're going to do is we're going to start off our quilt or off our table runner, and I'm going to follow it along. And then when we get down to the end, I'm going to come down and I'm going to come back with this one. And then I'm going to come down and I'm going to go. So you have 4 passes to do. So the first thing I'm going to do is come here. So I am off, if you can't tell, but right here is the edge of my table runner. I'm going to start off right on my line. I'm going to hang on to my thread, and I am just going to pull up my bobbin. So now I've pulled up my bobbin thread, and you're going to want to, you're going to set your speed to where you're going to go a little faster than you normally would and keep going. So I'm going to show you. So I'm going to start sewing. And I am just going to follow that line. Now, when you stop, you want to have it, if you can, have your machine stop with your needle down. So if you have to readjust your quilt, readjust your foot, readjust your arms, once you take off of the gas, it's not going anywhere, it's going to stay down for you. And I am just going to keep going. And you follow the curve. Of your quilting. Now, if you get off, don't worry, it's okay. No one is ever going to notice that you weren't right on that line. Just keep going.
Again, $5 flat rate shipping today, $25 or more in products purchased, and it's free. So we have that today. Trying to see closer here. I'm not sure how much we can zoom in, but I will try to get a little closer. And with some of the lighting, it is a little bit tougher, but I think there you might be able to.
So I'm going to stop. I'm going to unroll a little bit. And then as you keep going over to your throat of your machine, you're going to start rolling this side up. So you can just readjust as you need.
The length of the stitch.
I'm just using, it's just my regular straight stitch. You're going to want your stitches. And this all
and
depends.
we're zoomed out, so we can't see you right in. But
it all depends. If most machines are not going to have a stitch regulator on it, so you're determining by how fast you're pulling it and how the speed of your stitches, what it's going to be. So you're going to want to have nice small stitches and kind of develop a rhythm as you're going. So I'm just going to go a little bit more, and then I'm going to show you a finished product. So see how I'm just kind of steady and going around the curves.
Suzanne is wondering how big a quilt will one package do?
One package will do a 35 by 45. Okay. So if you are doing a larger quilt, you're going to need a couple, 2 or 3 packages. But I would definitely recommend that just to start out, you know, do a table runner or do a small wall hanging or a quilt. And you're going to keep going all the way down and then come back and then go all the way across, come back, where you won't need to cut your thread. So I would recommend a full bobbin and keep going. All right, so now I'm gonna set this aside. I'll be right back.
And Pam, who is a quilter that does a lot of free motion, she says, and remember to breathe as you go.
And remember to breathe. And you will relax as you go and get the hang of it. All right, so I did this one exactly how we did that one this morning. And if you look at my back, I know I did just a white thread, but it looks good. And it's the small stitches. It was exactly like how I was doing it. When you get all done, then you're just going to pull this paper off. And because you worked with the small stitches, I mean, you're gonna have kind of like paper piecing. You're just gonna pull these papers out and work to get them in. So you just keep pulling these off. and have a little garbage can next to you. This would be a great thing to do at night when you're sitting on the couch. And you're just gonna pull these papers off and your table runner will be quilted.
And another Pam that is watching, and she does a lot of quilting also. She says, turn on some music, get you in the rhythm.
Yes.
Deborah, the stitch length,
It just depends how fast you want to be going faster than what you would be when you're sewing. And it really all depends. Just get your rhythm. You don't want to go too fast because then you'll get long stitches. So short stitches are great. And then you're just going to pull these off. And it doesn't leave any residue in the stitches that you have to like go grab a tweezers or something. So, see how it just pulls off and you're good. I think this is a great way for you to quilt those small projects on your sewing machine. And even though I would love you to bring your projects or send your projects or whatever for us to quilt, on these small projects, this is a great way to do it. All right. Any more questions?
Not right now, I don't believe.
So here's what we had this morning. Now I need to find my papers again. We had the Flowers for Mom table runner. This is the pattern. It's a Villa Rosa pattern, $2. Sold 100. We had our Flowers for Mom bundle. So you're going to get the 5 fabrics for your flowers. You're going to get the green for the stems, your background, and your binding. $27.99 for your bundle for your flowers. Sold 101.
And I'm going to stop you before you moved on to the ruler.
Yep.
Mary's wondering, does it come in water soluble?
It does not.
Okay.
That's a good idea, but it does not. Then we have our new ruler. So we have never had this size on before. A 5.5 by 8.5 will be personalized with your name unless you specify otherwise. You can do it right or left-handed. So it's $15.99, sold 102 right or sold 102 left for the ruler.
And if you want something other than the name that is on your account,
put that in your notes when you go to check out.
Mm-hmm.
And our last is our quilting tearaway sheets. This one's called Scribbles, right? Yep, Scribbles. $14.50, sold 103.
All right. April says, great to give to the grandkids to pull the paper off.
Oh, that would keep them busy for a while. That is a really good idea.
Mm-hmm. And but yeah, and just a reminder again, if you are interested in our horn tables, sew steady tables, Pfaff sewing and embroidery machines, Grace Company, long arms and frames, let us know. We know that everything doesn't work for everybody, so
there's different sizes, there's different models, and you can always go to the Horn website and check out everything. We can get you anything that you see there. All right. Well, thank you guys for joining me for Breakfast with Amy. I hope you have a wonderful weekend wherever you are, and I hope that you have time to sew on something that makes you happy this weekend. We'll see you Monday at 5 o'clock for Happy Hour with the Heelys.
All right. Take care, everybody.
Bye.